Hello and welcome to my first World of Tanks infomercial. You all probably know me already. I'm Nicholas Moore, the Chieftain, and sitting next to me is Dana Lombardy, a chap I first met many moons ago in wargaming. Not the company, but the hobby. Do you still do that?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Still designing and playing and having fun with the analog war games.
We call it pewter pushing sometimes.
Okay.
And, you still do the War College as well?
Yes, I do.
So the War College is a series of lectures that he hosts or coordinates. But you are not here for wargaming. You are here because you have gone off on a little bit of a side business.
That's right. I'm doing a company called Lombardy Studios, no surprise, and I'm doing the books that Tactical Press first published in Russian about AFEs.
Things like this one there.
Absolutely. And instead of being...
Can't read at all because I don't speak Russian
well,
whatsoever.
you know what? We have the solution to that.
You do?
Yes, because we're coming out with all the books in English. Right now there are 14 in the series.
I knew that.
The first two are going to be the SU-152 and the T-34. And each year we're going to have a couple more titles in the series in English. And in fact, the most important thing is not just that they're in English, but also that people say, well, why should I get these books? There are other books already in English on the T-34, for example. Right here, it says, The Russian View. And the reason that's so important is because these are the first books to ever use the Russian-Soviet World War II archives, both for documents, photographs, scale drawings, proving ground tests, and after-action reports. None of that has ever been in English before. In fact, until Tactical Press did it, it wasn't even published in Russian.
I mean, if you look at the book itself, I mean, you could use it in close combat.
Yes.
I mean, it's not exactly a honeycut book, but the SU-152 is 260 odd pages,
That's right.
hardcover, with a lot of detail, fold out, lots of plans if you're interested in plans. And the T-34 book is how big?
It's about 140 pages, but it only covers the first 6 months of its combat operations in 1941. So a little bit about the development. The initial introduction in April of 41, 2 months before the Germans invaded, and it only talks about that element of the T-34 76. So there'll be further books on like the T-34 85, for example.
So as I'm looking through the SU-152 book, so I mean, one of the things that World of Tanks players will forget is that this is not actually a tank destroyer. It's a self-propelled artillery piece. And flicking through it, it doesn't just cover the development of the vehicle. There's a lot of the artillery piece part of it as well. So although it's 250 pages of SU-152, there's actually a fair bit of ancillary information as well as that. I mean,
absolutely, yes, and that's what's really good about these books is that it's not a book just about that one vehicle, but all the things that made it up. For example, the artillery gun that they put in it, the 152 millimeter, its background, other guns that they tried to put in a chassis like this, you know, what the success was, the failures, and that's why I was saying proving ground and after-action reports, and all of the flaws and failures that they found, not only in this one, the SU-152, but also the T-34. And that's never been published anywhere in any language, and we're going to have it in English for the first time.
Okay, so it's not just this thing. You also get a couple of other goodies. You get this little folder.
It's an illustrated tutorial, we call it. And what it includes is it has a little bit about the history of the tank, told by Yulia, our tank girl. Then, and how it's organized, how these were organized, because it went through different iterations as they learned in combat what made up the best makeup in terms of how many tanks per platoon, how many platoons in a company, and so forth. And then its first introduction into combat at Kursk, what it did to the German tanks that it came up against, and then of course the tech tree in the game, and then the best way to play with the tank in World of Tanks.
Cool. Okay, so what else do you get with the book?
Okay, this is the really nice thing, because you could even give this book to somebody that you know loves World War II history or tanks, and you get a code that is good for, and I'm going to read this to you. Each tank book provides its own bonus. This bonus is 7 days of premium, 1,000 gold, 100,000 credits. You get the Su-85I tank destroyer, tier 5.
That's worth it.
Yes, it's a 2,300 gold tank. And then
regardless of how much gold it costs, it's slightly overpowered.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, so it's about 14 to 15 bucks in virtual goods in the game. It's It's a $30 book, so you're getting half of that back immediately in virtual goods. And the T34, if you get that book, you get both bonuses. In other words, you can use both. So you get 14 days of premium, 200,000 credits, and so forth, and 2 different types of vehicles to use. So it's a real good way to get an introduction.
So the other one's
to the
not an SU85i. The other one's a
no,
different.
no. It's the I think it's the T3485 is what you get.
The M.
Yeah, the M. That's right. Yes, and that's what you get in the other book.
We missed the opportunity to say, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Okay, so last question. Where do you get them?
worldoftanksbooks.com.
There's a certain logic to that.
Yes.
All right, well, thanks for showing up and showing us the book, and hopefully you will go off and spend your hard-earned dosh on what is actually a fairly hefty book, and I honestly can't think of anything even remotely close in the English language on the SU-152.
There isn't. We're the first ones. Then thank you, Nick, for having me on your show.